Anytime.
Look at Dan.
Yes, Jason.
We're on. Very different speaking to an empty room. And I don't mean empty, there's 5 of us here. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Hope everybody got home safe or is planning on doing that. I'd like to call the meeting to order, please. And Jaden, would you lead the land acknowledgement, please?
As we begin this meeting, we respectfully acknowledge that we are gathered on the ancestral lands and waters of the Algonquin people. We acknowledge their long-standing relationship with this territory, which remains unceded. We also pay respect to all Indigenous people in this region from all nations across Canada who call Ottawa home.
Thank you. Father, would you please lead us in prayer?
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. We come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting of the Board of Trustees. Help us to engage in meaningful and respectful discussion. Allow us to grow in unity as a board and nurture the bonds of our faith community. Fill us with your grace, Lord God, as we discern decisions that impact the students, families, educators, and support staff of our schools. Continue to remind us that all that we do here today and all that we accomplish is for the enrichment of Catholic education, for your greater glory, and for the service of the children entrusted to our care. We ask this in your name. Amen. We remember in our prayers the following persons who have passed away. Judy Young, retired administrative assistant to the Principal of Special Education and Student Services for 26 years. Danielle Castella, father of Joanne Lacheza, educational consultant in Special Education and Student Services Department. Virginia Bedecki, retired teacher who taught for many years at St. Pius X and All Saints High School. Vincenzo Biazzone, father of Alyssa Razzi, teacher at Frank Ryan, and father-in-law of Alex Razzi, teacher at St. Mark High School. Eternal rest grant unto them, O Lord, and let perpetual light shine upon them. May they rest in peace. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
A little technical difficulty. Please stand for O Canada.
Thank you.
Hopefully we hear the national anthem many times in the next couple of weeks. We have no delegations. Can I have a mover for approval of the agenda, please? And if you can wave at me, it makes it much easier for me to see. Trustee Melito and Trustee Foon. That the agenda for the regular board meeting of February 10th, 2026 be approved as presented. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Memo from the Superintendent of Leadership and Parent Engagement, St. Mark's High School STEM Club. Welcome, Superintendent Power.
Good evening, Mr. Chair.
I'm not sure who's online, so you can introduce people if they're online.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So it's my pleasure to introduce the St. Mark's STEM Club. We have a larger group this evening just because we're meeting virtually, so I have the pleasure of introducing Miss Allison Sirkelli, Principal, St. Mark. We have Sonia Palumbo, the Department Head of Science, who's also the lead supervisor of the school's STEM program, so science, technology, engineering, and math. And Sonia is accompanied by her students, Aria Guerra, Asher, Ella Lore, and Tialade, who will be presenting some of the exciting STEM club initiatives that they're working on at St. Mark. So welcome.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for welcoming us here today. We're really excited to be here. If you could move to the next slide, that would be great. This year, our STEM club is looking a little bit different. We got together, put great minds together, and we decided that we didn't just love STEM, but we wanted the world to love STEM. So we were looking for opportunities this year to educate, collaborate, and explore issues that deal with STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. If you could go on to the next slide. So this is our STEM club, and if you look in the back, you might see Jaden there. He's one of our STEM club heads. So this is a great group of individuals, grades 9 to 12. They're a really diverse group, and they just embody our St. Mark Catholic High School. I'm really proud of them, but they've had a great hand in our next slide, which is our 3 goals for this year. So if you could move on to the next slide. So it's really exciting because one of these goals we've already achieved. And if it wasn't for this one goal, we could not have done the other 2 goals. So this year, new to our STEM club, we are sending 2 intermediate groups to the Ottawa Regional Science Fairs. And they're going to have a representative that speaks about their projects, and it will actually blow your mind what these ladies have done. And we're also going to have educational visits. So this is how we are thinking that will make the world love STEM. Now, unfortunately, this is expensive, but we were lucky enough to create a proposal. The students put their minds together, expressed their voices, and we were awarded the Students Building Bridges Student Voices project funding this year, which is really exciting for us because without this, we would not be able to do what we're doing. So if you could go on to the next slide, I'm going to introduce our first representative who's going to the Ottawa Regional Science Fair. She is part of Team Ash and Ella, and Ash is going to be speaking to you about her projects. Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. So our project is like in space, a timing error of just 1 microsecond can translate into hundreds of meters of navigation error. And our project it asks a simple question. How does accumulated timing error become large enough that time cannot be trusted? So we model timing error in 2 parts: drift, which accumulates predictably, and uncertainty, which grows when correction is delayed or imperfect. So what we found out is that timing error does not grow, so it does not cause failure gradually. There exists a clear boundary where time stops being reliable. We define this boundary as temporal integrity margin, or TIM for short, as the maximum combined timing error a system can tolerate before time-based calculations and the system, they can't be trusted. So defining this boundary allowed us to do 3 things that we couldn't do before. So we built a testable failure condition that combines timing drift and uncertainty into a single inequality. We use this equation condition to create a standardized failure protocol. And it showed that some mission configurations they're temporally infeasible in principle, or in simpler terms, our project shows that time does not fail because clocks stop working. It fails because the system loses the ability to trust them. So this matters now because systems already rely on time when correction is delayed. So in future missions, as missions become longer and more autonomous, time will have to remain trustworthy without constant oversight. Our work shows that that is not always feasible, and that matters for how systems are designed. So you must be thinking, why doesn't NASA and other space organizations already do this? So organizations like NASA absolutely account for time drift, uncertainty, and correction. What they don't have is the explicit failure boundary, which combines drift and uncertainty into one condition. Our project turns these scattered practices into a clear inequality, a failure protocol that can be applied before the mission is even simulated. Yes.
Thank you so much. It's amazing, actually. I'm going to just move on to the next slide here. This is our second team. This is Aria and Tia, and they're going to be talking about what they're doing for their project, and Aria is going to be speaking on the team's behalf. Go ahead, Aria.
Yeah, hi everybody. So just our project is more robotics and engineering based compared to physics. So our goal is to create a 3D printed robotic arm that uses hand gestures instead of a remote control to move. So basically using Bluetooth modules and flex sensors, we can input the code into a computer chip and create this invention. So our main goal for this is that this is potentially a brand new technology that can improve so many different industries, such as Medicare, for example, taking the places of potentially like nurses eventually when they get automated in PSWs because there's a shortage of them, and even eventually going into prosthetic limbs and connecting to your nerve endings and using electronic signals from your brain to control prosthetic limbs. It can go into military to become like gesture controlled exoskeletons, and even construction to consider for heavy lifting and stuff. So this is honestly, it's the start of a new form of technology and machinery that we'd like to just develop more. And this is only the start. So we just like to really try to complete this project to potentially improve and just kind of advance this new technology for different industries.
Thank you, Aria. It's a pretty hard act to follow, but I am going to move on to the next slide if we can, if time permits. Oh, are we all out? Okay, so it's clear that these ladies know what they're talking about, that's for sure. But we do have a group of senior team mentors that are there to support these ladies through this. Part of our collaboration are building bridges between our intermediate and our senior panel. We're really excited because they're willing to do all the grunt work to help these ladies to succeed. Everything from displays to asking them questions to getting them ready for what the judges may ask. Can we move on? Okay, another exciting goal that we want to do this year is in collaboration with St. Francis Xavier High School and their STEM club, we will be doing educational visits to our feeder schools. And this year we reached out to 3 feeder schools, St. Jerome, St. Mary, and St. Leonard's. And they're very excited to participate. So essentially our STEM club will be making kits. These kits will have activities in them that are STEM-based. They'll have lesson plans that are STEM-based, and they'll even have laboratories that our feeder school classes can participate in. Each student team will be equipped with a kit, and they'll be deployed to different schools. And it's part of the way that our STEM club is deciding to design and then share their designs build bridges with other schools in our community. Can we move on to the next slide? Okay, so how is this all happening? Well, it does take a lot of time, effort, and unfortunately money. But this year we got together and we wrote a proposal that embodied exactly what the STEM Club wanted to do and how we wanted to educate and foster a love for STEM in younger students and across our panels. And we were so excited to be granted $7,000 to do what the STEM Club is going to do this year. That is the regional science fair and the educational visits. Aria is going to be talking a little bit about what all this means to us. So if you could go on to the next slide, that would be good.
Yeah, so thanks to this funding, it allows us to do many things, such as build bridges between younger students and STEM, sparking innovation and creativity within younger students and allowing for a place to develop curiosity and interest. It also allows us to, like through live interactions and demonstrations, to open and influence young minds and how they view their potential in science and technology, sparking new interests and passions within students. Um, yeah, and it also provides kind of like a place and an opportunity for people of like and students of all gender, race, age, and different experience levels to have an equal voice and opinion and express their interest throughout STEM and just gain like really a new knowledge of what STEM is, because I feel like it's like you only see one side of it in school, but to really get hands-on, I feel like we are bringing that to younger students and sparking their interest. So thanks to this funding, it's allowing us to bring our ideas to life too, and hopefully show younger students that they too can bring their ideas to life and that your imagination can indeed become reality.
Thank you so much. Then if you go on to the next slide, that would be great. So we're welcoming your feedback. We thank you for this opportunity. And if you have any questions, this would be a great time.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Do any of the trustees have questions or comments? Is that Jaden?
That's Jaden.
Go ahead, Jaden.
Through you, Mr. Chair, I just want to say I'm so proud to see my school STEM club, to see all these super innovative projects that will one day benefit society, and to push STEM onto like the younger students to spark their interest early on. I feel like that's really important. So I just want to say like it's really inspiring to see how intelligent you guys are, and I honestly couldn't have been more proud of my school and like this STEM club. So I just want to say thank you, and I can't wait to see how you guys will do at the fair. Yeah, thank you, miss.
Thanks, Jaden.
Okay, there's someone in the bottom left-hand corner.
Sandra Moore.
That's continuous. Sorry.
Sorry.
Looks
Do
like
I say it?
two pictures.
Sorry.
Go ahead, trustee
Chair is
Moore.
up too. Chair is up too.
Go ahead,
Okay.
trustee Moore.
Through you, Mr. Chair. Hey, thanks so very much, ladies, for your presentation. I have an arts degree, so I'm going to do my best here, okay? And I did watch Star Trek the other night, so I think I'm up with this. So when we're talking, Aria and Tia, we're talking, you're looking at the robotics and mechanical engineering aspects of it, and you're seeing how you can make, they've come so far with limbs that they're able to use robotics and hand gestures. But I'm very, very proud as a Catholic system that dignity of the individual was first in your thoughts. So thank you very much for that. And my question is, are you ladies considering mechanical engineering degrees?
Personally, I'm considering an aerospace degree, so I would like to work in the aerospace engineering industry.
I'm also considering an engineering degree, especially in mechatronics engineering.
Cool. Back in the old days, there was only 3 or 4 kinds of engineering, so that's cool. And if a follow-up, another question for Ash and Ella. So I did watch my Star Trek. I'm getting the Einstein theory of relativity, time moving. I kind of get that part of it. And it's just the practical applications of it is something that we don't usually see. So are you considering moving this forward even into through your studies into physics, and maybe even looking at a master's? There'd be something to study in your master's program or farther up.
Yes, actually, I was actually planning on going into quantum for my career. So this kind of builds into it.
It does. Excellent.
Yeah, for me too, this is super useful. I'm planning on going to something related to astrophysics. So again, like relativity and all that is super useful.
I feel so blessed that I watched Star Trek last night. Thank you.
Trustee Moore, never disappointed. Kiera,
Through you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for such a great presentation. I had a question aimed at the students. If you could give any piece of advice to student leaders who are interested in STEM, who are interested in this field, who would like to adopt this framework for their school, what could you tell them? What advice would you give them to help them start up a club or something similar in their school?
Personally, I would probably say find a strong like leader. Like we're very grateful to have Miss Palumbo leading our group and to have all those older students with us. So just having a strong team around you and a strong leader can really impact what your club does and how impactful your club really is. And also like take risks, like the robotics thing and physics. It's not easy, but by taking a risk, we can hopefully create something great.
Trustee Phelan. Press the wrong button and he's gone.
Trustee Phelan, you're muted.
Did you hear me? Sorry. Let's try that again. Okay, thanks a lot. So, Trustee, through you, Mr. Chair, just want to say congratulations on such a well-done presentation this evening. I'm super impressed. I sit there and think of some things you're discussing, robotics and quantum physics. At this age, we didn't have this when I was going through high school. So I'm pretty impressed. And, you know, your principal, of course, your principal is somewhere on the screen tonight too, but your teacher, you must be so proud to see these students echo some amazing things tonight and did a really, really great job. Just a quick question on time management, if that's okay for you. And I might have missed this at the beginning of the presentation, but you know, this is a club. It really is. It's kind of, you know, above and beyond your regular studies and everything you're doing within the school system. Time commitments and whatnot. Maybe just one or two you could speak to how much time it really takes and your involvement and your commitment to the program.
Yeah, so basically we meet pretty much every Friday at lunch and we sometimes do after school meetings. So time aspect for the club is usually like maybe half an hour at lunch or maybe an hour or two after school. And then currently I'm working on the robotics at home. So that's definitely maybe a few hours each night, depending on like how I want to perfect it and stuff. And depending on how much work there's need to be done. But other than that, I find like I really enjoy it. So I don't mind spending more time on the club and whatever it takes kind of to put together this project. So honestly, personally, it does take up some time, but definitely not time I mind spending.
Great. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it.
Any other questions or comments?
I just wanted to make a comment. These ladies who are doing these projects are in grades 9 and 10. So they have not yet taken any senior science, physics. Their passion is innate in them. So it's really exciting to see these two diverse groups, women in STEM. I'm very proud of them. And they're doing it, a lot of it on their own, because my degree is in physiology. So I had to get some help when they spoke to me the first time about this. But you could see that, you know, these ladies are going places. They're our future. So I'm really proud of you ladies and the entire team.
Thank you very much, ladies. There will be a gift card that you would come up and get during the meeting and get your picture taken, but obviously that's not going to happen tonight, so they'll be sent to your teacher advisor and with our thanks for your presentation this evening. So again, thank you very much. Can I have a mover for the motion, please? Trustee Moore and Trustee Simpson. That the memorandum from the Superintendent of Leadership and Parent Engagement dated February 4th, 2026, entitled St. Mark High School STEM Club be received. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you, ladies. Item F, declarations of conflict of interest. Seeing none. Confirmation of the minutes of the regular board meeting of January 27, 2026. Can I have a mover, please? Trustee Phelan and Moved by trustee Phelan, second by trustee Melito, that the minutes of the regular board meeting of January 27, 2026 be adopted as presented. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. There's no unfinished business from previous meetings. Item I, presentation consideration of committee reports and student trustee reports. Memo from the superintendent of continuing and community education trustee student report. Welcome, Superintendent Hopkins. Kiara and Jaden, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It's my pleasure to welcome your fellow trustees, Kiara Frangioni and Jaden Nanapagasam, who will be providing updates on their dual roles as student trustees and as co-chairs of the board's Student Senate. So welcome, Jaden and Kiara.
Thank you, Superintendent Hopkins. Good evening, Mr. Chair and esteemed trustees. It is our pleasure to present to you our mid-year Student Trustee Board Report, highlighting the projects we're developing and the opportunities we've had to elevate student voice across the Ottawa Catholic School Board. Next slide, please. A bridge was built in our first Student Senate meeting, connecting co-residents from across the Ottawa Catholic School Board and fostering a united student leadership community. Our meeting launched with a leadership-style bingo organized by the student trustees. They then had the privilege of participating in workshops organized by the Learning and Technologies team and Equity and Diversity team. Following our first meeting, our student leadership coordinated a video highlighting our discussion and the role of the Student Senate. This has been posted on our social media platform at OCSB Students in collaboration with the school board Instagram account and Learning and Technologies Instagram account. We invite you to view this video at your convenience. We built on this in our next meeting with a Student Senate workshop session discussing student needs, brainstorming team goals, and discussing project ideas to respond to student feedback. Next slide, please.
We'd be honored to introduce these projects in the following slides. The project outlines document is included in the presentation for your reference. Next slide, please.
With the goal of empowering student voice through inclusive faith experiences, building bridges between students, and evangelizing through digital media and artistry, we are excited to introduce the student trustee-led Faith Through Expression Challenge. This board-wide project features an inter-arts showcase of videos, prayers, and artwork to be displayed during Catholic Education Week. This project will also be presented provincially. Through the Ontario Student Trustees Association, student trustees have adopted this framework in their school boards to participate in a digital media showcase combining entries from across the province. Within the OCSB, digital submissions will be collected in a Google form with the assistance of the religious education team, and physical artwork will be collected through the internal mail system and faith network from schools. Student work will be showcased at the Catholic Education Week Mass, May 5th, and in a digital showcase on the school board media platform. February 19th, this initiative will be introduced to teachers, parents, and students with an introductory blog post on the board website. This post will include a description of the project, the Google form, and an introductory video created by the Student Senate. Next slide, please.
With the mindset of building unity, promoting kindness, and celebrating inclusivity, I'm pleased to present Battle of the Schools, a Spirit Week initiative focused to strengthen connections and increase student engagement across the board. The week will be launched through a student-created introduction video, and highlights will be shared on the OCSB Students account to show how spirited our board is. Each day of the week reflects a different aspect of community bridge building. Monday is Team Day, where students will wear jerseys or matching outfits. Tuesday will be Color Day, creating a rainbow that will represent kindness and respect. Wednesday will be Retro Day to celebrate past and present school spirit. Thursday will be Culture Day to highlight the diversity among students. And finally, Friday will be School Color Day to show pride and unity among students. Through Battle of the Schools, the initiative becomes more than just a competition. It becomes an opportunity to foster leadership, inclusivity, and community spirit, ensuring that every student feels valued, connected, and empowered. Next slide, please.
Another project our Student Senate has planned for this year is our Student Trustees newsletter. This newsletter supports one of our key objectives, enhancing the visibility of student-led projects among parents and the student body. The newsletter will spotlight 3 highlights from school initiatives from September to January. These highlights will include posters, social media posts, and photos from school events. Co-presidents will also have the option of including a 350-word written reflection describing the event and the impact it had. Next slide, please.
Celebrating our diversity has always been a critical part of building an inclusive school board. This year, Kiara and I are pleased to present our school-wide Culture Day initiative. This event will highlight the rich cultures within the OCSB community while also promoting inclusion, respect, and understanding amongst all students. Culture Day encourages student participation through traditional attire, cultural expressions, and shared stories. Our Student Senate will be taking videos for participation throughout each high school, and a montage will be created and shared on social media to help promote and demonstrate how the Ottawa Catholic School Board will always promote diversity among students. Next slide, please. Recently, I had the opportunity to attend my first Ontario Catholic School Trustees Association conference in Toronto. This experience allowed me to connect with trustees from all across Ontario and gain a deeper understanding of the diverse perspectives and the different methods of advocating as a board. One of the most inspiring aspects of the conference was learning about smaller boards and recognizing how fortunate we are to be part of a board that serves over 52,000 students. Other than just the connections from the conference, all Catholic student trustees across Ontario were tasked with the charisms of Saints Curriculum Resource Project. So this initiative invites student trustees to research 3 Catholic saints and contribute their work to a provincial curriculum resource that will support learning in Catholic schools. Through virtual meetings and collaboration, trustees will share ideas, receive guidance, and overall grow as faith leaders.
During this time, I had the honor of representing St. Pius X High School, the Ottawa Catholic School Board, and Canada as a Global Peace Delegate at the 5th Global Peace Summit. The conference was organized by Humanitarian Affairs Asia and was hosted at the United Nations Conference Center in Bangkok, Thailand. At the conference, I built an international network of leaders and was inspired by the stories of esteemed presenters. Speakers such as Layla Damon, a Bosniak war child, Alfred Orono, an African child soldier, and Ruben Mawick, a German medic serving in Ukraine, and many others, exemplified the importance of empathy and connection in fostering solidarity and peace building. I'm eagerly awaiting to leverage these lessons in my work as student trustee and as a local peace builder. Along with this, I also had the privilege of representing the Ottawa Catholic School Board and St. Pius X High School in an interview with CTV News discussing the Online Harms Act. I shared my perspective on the current social media landscape and advocated for youth on this important issue. It would be great if you could switch to the next slide, please.
Christian Community Day was a great opportunity to connect with members of the Ottawa Catholic School Board in a more personal way. Kiara and I had an amazing chance to reconnect with past teachers and meet many new educators from across the board. It helped us build stronger relationships and open the door for future collaboration. I think we're good for the next slide, please.
Another opportunity we've had the pleasure of being involved in is the Student Census Committee. We are honored to be representing Student Voice along with 4 other student members on the committee from a variety of different student affinity groups. On the committee, we were provided the opportunity to aid in creating the promotional content for the student census. Among the schools included was St. Pius X High School. By coordinating with the communications team to feature students in the video, we were able to promote the student census more broadly. This provided the students an incredible opportunity to engage in a school board project. This video is also linked for the trustees viewing.
We also had the chance to present this work at several meetings, including the VP Council, Student Senate, the Black Student Advisory Committee, and the Catholic Schools Parents Association. The start of our term as student trustees has been an amazing experience. The relationships we built and the projects we're developing have made us feel like integral members of the Ottawa Catholic School Board community. We'd be pleased to answer any questions or comments from the board. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Trustees, questions or comments? Trustee Moore.
Through you, Mr. Chair, and just so you know, Kara and Jaden, I did wait a moment. I didn't have to go first. Quick question, you got lots of great initiatives. And my question about the initiatives is the Battle of the Schools. Is it going to be at every school the same week, or is it within a certain 2 or 3 week range? And it's the same with the school-wide culture day. Is it going to be the same day or same range of days?
Okay, so I can answer it. Through you, Mr. Chair. Through you, Mr. Chair. So, the Battle of the Schools will be happening on April 20th to the 24th. For the school-wide culture day, though, so how it works, we presented the idea to the Student Senate, and the Student Senate, it's an initiative. So we are technically speaking not allowed to force each high school to have one day for their culture day because months can get busy. So we promoted the idea, and I know some had their culture, some high schools have had their culture day. They're planning for March and April. So it's very diverse, but for the Battle of the Schools, it will be happening all in that week of April. Thank you.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing the social media posts on that one. Thanks. Well, Trinity and All Saints, of course, rule, but that's beside the point.
Trustee Simpson.
First of all, great presentation. It was very thorough and it gave us a real taste for everything that you've done so far. So wow on that. Second question is, could you just elaborate a little bit more about some of the initiatives that are going to go on in these cultural days? Like, what are they going to look like? Have the high schools collaborated, and are they looking at doing similar things, or are there unique things being done at different high schools?
So through you, Mr. Chair. So how the culture day is going to be working, there's going to be overall, each high school has their own kind of fun to it. They each have their own individual right to invite guest speakers. We're heavily promoting it, guest speakers. But the main thing that we want to incorporate with students is traditional attire. We want to we want to present to all students, students with from all different cultures, all different cultural backgrounds. So that's what we're really working and empowering towards. There is some activity. So the main activity that I had planned for the culture day was something called the culture map. So how this works, each high school is going to be, we're trying to get them one big map. So like one big geographical map. And with this, there will be pins. So for each student in different grades. So let's say, for example, a student in grade 7, they will be the red pins, and grade 8s will be blue pins. They will all go and pin from where their cultural background originates from. And at the end of the day, everyone can see where the school's cultural backgrounds are from. And I thought it was like a really cute and fun way to see how our Ottawa Catholic School Board can incorporate, shows how inclusive our school board is. So that was just a little idea, but overall, all the schools will have a variety of functions of how they're gonna perceive the culture day. But I hope this kind of answered your question. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. And can I have a follow-up, Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
Kiera, this question's for you. If you had one takeaway from the Global Peace Summit, which is so awesome that you attended, what do you think it would be?
Oh, I have to say, well, first of all, I learned peace is a journey, especially, with when we're seeing an increase in global conflict and lack of empathy with everything being digitized and on social media. It takes connection, it takes empathy, it takes understanding, cultural understanding, and it's a collective effort. It's not an individual journey. It's something that we need to walk together. And slowly, I'd say that if I had to give one takeaway in terms of speakers, I'd say that German medic, Ruben, was probably the best, I guess, sort of symbol of the event. He was a 22-year-old Gen Z, like all of us, up on the stage showing that regular people can do amazing things and take amazing efforts towards peace building. So to me, that was really the big sort of symbol of what we were talking about connection and understanding. And together we can collectively work towards peace.
Wow, thank you. You're already starting your speaking career. That was amazing.
Is there any other questions? Thank you very much, Jaden and Kira. Can I have a mover, please? Spencer, Trustee Warren, and Trustee Coburn. That the memorandum from the Superintendent of Continuing and Community Education dated February 10, 2026, entitled Student Trustee Report 2025-2026 be received. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Item 2, memo from the Superintendent of Special Education and Student Services, SEAC minutes of December 17, 2025. Superintendent Benton.
Good evening, Mr. Chair. These minutes are for receipt.
Thank you. Can I have a mover, please? Trustee Moore. Seconder. Trustee Lukatich-Bars. That the memorandum from the Superintendent of Special Education and Student Services dated February 10, 2026, entitled SEAC minutes of December 17, 2025 be received. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Presentation and consideration of staff or trustee reports. Item 1, memo from the Superintendent of Student Success, Intermediate and Secondary. Rebuilding Wheels, Rebuilding Lives. Superintendent Kelly, welcome. Ms. Wood and Mr. Meneza, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I'll get started. Just, I know Ms. Wood and our student EJ will be joining us on screen here shortly. Our Rebuilding Wheels, Rebuilding Lives program is a unique collaboration among the Ottawa Catholic School Board, Surgeoner Ottawa Automotive, and the United Way. The program has the United Way identifying a particular family in need of transportation, while the board and Surgeoners collaborate on retrofitting a vehicle to be donated. I'm joined by Jennifer, our educational consultant in intermediate secondary student success, and AJ Meneza, a student in the program, to provide additional information about this unique partnership. And Liam, I'll ask you to go to the next slide. Jennifer learned of a United Way program running in Windsor where the agency provided a used refurbished automobile to a deserving family in the community. The program was based on the premise that having access to a reliable vehicle can be a game changer for families living in low income situations. Dependable transportation can help people secure stable employment, access post-secondary education, and help parents support themselves and their families. I reached out to a former classmate from my time at Pius, who currently owns a number of dealerships in the Ottawa area, and Mike McGurn was instantly on board and was happy to work with our team to make this happen. Jennifer worked with Brent Kaesler, another consultant in our department, to bring the vision to life, and we enlisted the help of Michael Warren, who's the teacher at St. Paul, who is leading our new automotive transportation trade at our Elite Skills Trades Academy there. And I'll pass things over to Jennifer, who will continue with some information.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. Next slide, please. It is my honor to be here this evening to share with you how passion and partnership turned into purpose. There's a unique type of fulfillment that comes from collective service. Surgeoners Ottawa was, as Mr. Kelly said, very kind in donating a vehicle. They performed our final safety check and they completed the licensing for our recipient. The United Way East Ontario led the application process efficiently while also fully capturing the essence of this project and really caring for the individual dignity of all of those involved. So we are forever grateful for their commitment to both education and the reminder that our talents are most powerful when they are used in service together. Next slide, please. This project was designed to be more than just curriculum delivery. It was an exercise in deep learning through the lens of our faith. The program challenges students to be reflective and creative learners. By moving from routine shop exercises to a mission of service, students were able to reflect on their own privileges and apply their talents to solve real-world challenges. It also aligned with our spiritual theme of building bridges as students identified transportation as a barrier to stability, and then were able to bridge that gap between a family struggle and a future of hope. Rebuilding Wheels, Rebuilding Lives grounds experiential learning in real-world outcomes. By connecting technical tasks to a family in need, they went through that participate, reflect, and apply cycle from theory to practice. Students were able to see firsthand the difference that their schoolwork would make in someone else's life. The program built a culture that brings our core commitments to life. We were able to reimagine a trade as a hub for social innovation using technical skills to break down community barriers. Our students became active citizens, learning that their skills are most valuable when used to support our community. And by shifting the focus of a project to a purposeful mission, they were able to bring a sense of belonging and well-being through what we hope is lasting self-worth. But to truly understand the impact of this journey, I would like to introduce to you one of our talented students behind this build, EJ. Next slide, 2, please.
Thank you, Ms. Wood. My name is EJ Muñeza, and I'm really pleased to be here in front of you all as one of the many students who are part of the Automotive ESTA program. When joining this program, I had to make some very tough choices. I came from All Saints Catholic High School in Canada, where I attended since I was in grade 8, up until grade 12, where the program came up, and I was elected co-president and was chosen to be one of the leaders at the next leadership camp. But then suddenly the opportunity for this program came up. And being someone who loves being active and doing physical work, I found that the automotive field is the place where I want to be. So during co-op, I tried a shop where since then I've just never looked back. With that, I made a decision to sacrifice all that I've built in order to further my career. Although I couldn't have made a decision without the help of 2 of my teachers, Mr. Johnson and Ms. Finesta. As students in the OCSB, we focus on a framework of 6 C's. To share more on this project, I would like to highlight 3 of those C's: critical thinking, collaboration, and citizenship. Slide, please. When the class was tasked with this, we didn't fully realize how big of a thing this would be. In a way, we took it all very lightly until like a month in, where we realized how much of an impact our work will have. All of us took the past few months to ensure this car will work at its absolute best. Things we did included replacing all the filters, like the air and cabin. We made sure all the brakes were changed and serviced. We did a complete engine tune-up, replaced the engine oil, and added brand new all-weather tire to the front, all in hopes that the recipient wouldn't have to worry about servicing it for a good while, even going as far as to do a full interior and exterior detailing job. Slide, please. As I share more, I feel like it is important to include the words of some of my classmates, or as I call them now, my friends. One said, "It feels amazing to be a part of a project that could change someone's whole life. It feels extremely fulfilling to do good as a group." Spending the last month with these people working on this car brought us all so much closer than we could have ever hoped. From being a bunch of strangers from all across the city, we all just began to bond and connect through our love for this trade, and most importantly, this community. Another one of my peers said, and I believe that these words encapsulated all of our words into one: the most surprising thing about this project was definitely the sense of accomplishment I felt afterwards. Unlike practice cars that we have in the shop, I never felt as accomplished with them as I did with this project. The overall mood and morale of the class was overwhelmingly positive because we knew that as students, we were able to make a change, all thanks to the program and the teachers. Slide, please. On behalf of all of my classmates, it has been such an honor to work on this car. Knowing that we're able to make an impact on someone's life in our community is just so humbling, and we truly appreciate the opportunity that we have been given to help out someone that's just like us. One of my peers stated that making an impact means doing something that makes a difference, something that gives us hopes, something that gives hope to somebody no matter how hard things are. Now it will get better. In other words, it isn't just doing something that puts a smile on someone's face temporarily, but instead making a long-lasting difference in someone's life. Going into this project, a lot of us never really knew the extent in which you could expand yourself for your community in the shade. It's not just a job to me, it's a passion, a hobby, and a useful skill for daily life. You're able to help out your friends, family, and loved ones, or anyone else who is in need. We have the power to make a real difference in someone's life, said one of my friends. And made a difference, we really did. Being a student living in a place like Ottawa, we sometimes have to take a step back and consider all the privileges and advantages that we've had in life. Not all of us have lived a comfortable life, especially when it comes to transportation. Throughout it all, I think that as a class, we have all learned how, as youth in Ottawa, we can make a difference. And it has been truly a privilege to put our passion to work for our community. Slide, please.
Thank you, EJ. The culmination of this work was the key ceremony that took place at St. Paul High School. There is a video there that I think fully encapsulates the spirit of that day, if you would like to watch that at some point. Slide, please. Seeing the students be able to hand the keys to our recipient was truly magical. The excitement on the students' faces as they revealed the car showed that they did not just learn how to fix a vehicle, they actually learned how to change a life. Slide, please. As we conclude, we see this project as proof of concept that our strategic commitments can be lived out on the shop floor. St. Paul reminds us that our talents are not just for self-interest, but they are tools to be used in service to others. In this program, our students move beyond the mechanics of a repair to the heart of the calling, which was proving that a wrench can be just as much a tool of grace as any other. Our hope is that this is just the beginning. We do hope to be able to scale this model across the city, bridging more gaps, rebuilding more lives, one student and one car at a time. We thank you so much for your time and for your continued support of the skilled trades.
Thank you very much. Questions or comments? Trustee Lukatich Myers.
Through you, Mr. Chair. Thank you so much for the presentation. I'm really a huge fan of this. I think it's fantastic on multiple levels. So, you know, I'd really want to congratulate all of you, EJ, yourself, and Ms. Wood and the other teachers that were involved. So, you know, first of all, obviously number one is the great cause, right? And the fact that you're doing this for a family that's going to really benefit from having that car. It's hard to be without a car in Canada for sure. You know, everything revolves around kind of the assumption that everyone has a car, which isn't always the case. The partnership, I think, is fantastic, so that you've partnered with, I think it was Surgeoner. So that's great. So, you know, that kind of the school partnering with a business in the community, again, congratulations, fantastic. And then obviously the learning aspect there, and EJ mentioned, you know, the changing the brakes and the filters and etc. EJ, I wanted to ask you, you mentioned you changed the filter, so I'm assuming the air filter as well. Did you clean out the mass airflow sensor when you did that as well?
Yes, we made sure that it was all just cleared out. So then, yeah, we wouldn't have to worry about that.
Fantastic. I like to tinker with cars as well, so that's why I know a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. And was that a Ford Escort? The blue
No,
car?
it was a Ford Focus.
A oh, sorry, Ford Focus. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. So yeah, again, just really fantastic initiative, and I do hope that you guys mentioned that you might that might be something that is scalable, and I certainly hope so, because I again, not to kind of repeat myself too much, but it just it covers so many different facets. This project, and the benefits are amazing for everyone. So thank you very much again.
Trustee Coburn?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, I echo Lucas' comments with regard to the initiative. EJ, did you say you switched schools to do this? Did you switch schools? Or were you?
Yeah. I switched from All Saints to St. Paul, where I go to now.
So you gave up your presidency at All Saints to be part of this initiative?
Yeah.
That's commitment, man. That's commitment. So yeah, kudos to that. That's huge. The other thing is, I'm just wondering, I think, Jennifer, you mentioned this, that United Way was involved. Can you explain to me what the United Way's role was with regards to this?
Yes, thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair. We partnered with United Way to echo the model that they had already in Windsor, Essex. So we learned from what they were able to do there. But our Ottawa chapter was a little bit different in what they were able to offer us. But essentially, they are in charge of the application process. So they created the application, they sent it out through their channels. Our comms team did also send out that same application so that it was through multiple networks. But they were able to then collect all of the recipient responses. They were able to manage what they wanted in terms of information. We collaborated on that, but we knew we wanted to understand also things such as, could that family sustain that vehicle afterwards? So there's this balance of finding someone who's in need, but also able to keep up what it means to have a vehicle so that it is something that is helpful for them. So they would take all those metrics, and then we met all together to be able to analyze the data, go through everyone's story. They did have the ability, because of different campaigns that they've run, to be able to streamline that and come up with a shorter list of who they would recommend as a recipient. And then together we chose who to interview, and then ultimately choose as our recipient. We do have an MOU with them, but they also helped with things like collecting information on ensuring that they have a valid driver's license, that they could secure insurance, some of those aspects as well. So they helped us to find the right person.
Great, but you had input into the final selection?
Yes, we did conduct the interview with them, and then we made the final selection as a team, of course, to make sure that we were choosing who we thought would be the best family to receive our vehicle.
Great, thanks. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Father, go ahead.
Is my mic working this time?
Sure is.
Okay. I just wanted, the last two presentations, the way the students have integrated their faith into real concrete lived experience. And, when I was in the seminary, I bought an old car one summer, and I fixed it up and got rid of it afterwards, just for the fun of doing it, because it's nice to get your hands busy with something. But I love the way that you have utilized your faith, the spiritual theme, and saying, fixing the brakes, etc., is not about fixing the brakes. It was actually about helping someone, doing an act of charity, living your faith, helping someone else. Like, that's just incredible. So kudos to all of you to integrate your faith, real life experiences. This is deep learning. There we go.
Thank you. Is there any other questions? Luca, do you have a second question?
Yeah, through you, Mr. Chair. Sorry, it's me again. I just kind of was triggered by some of the discussion here. I was wondering, and maybe Ms. Wood, you could speak to this. I was wondering if perhaps there could be something for, you know, the car, as any car, it requires maintenance, obviously, you know, even when you get it well prepared, which I'm sure is the case here. I was wondering if it could be maybe in the future as kind of part of the program where, you know, you could kind of bring the car in kind of for a, you know, a little service here and there, if that could be something that might be interesting to look at, and again beneficial for, you know, for the kids to learn and for the family, etc., to you know, benefit from for some lower costs, etc. Thank you.
Through you, Mr. Chair. I appreciate that idea, actually. I think that's an excellent thing that we can take back to the team and discuss. I know that there would be some extra logistics, some extra liability to try and sort out in being able to do that. But I do agree that it would be really special to be able to follow that recipient and to continue to support them because the whole purpose of this is to create a better future for them. So I think to kind of have those all-encompassing services would be great. So like I said, I do appreciate that idea. It definitely would be something that we could look into and to see if we would also have additional partners. I think that's the other thing that we are hoping for, is to bring in more dealerships so that we can continue to, you know, leverage our networks, increase our scope here, and then maybe be able to extend it into opportunities like that. So thank you.
Kiara?
Through you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for such a fantastic presentation. I recognized a couple of familiar faces from the program, some students who I know, and it's great to see that such amazing hands-on programs are available to students, and I know so many students that thrive off of that. I just wanted to ask from a student perspective and a student leadership perspective, and maybe EJ can share on this as well a little bit, about how we as students can support this program, we as student leadership can support the program, how are students who are going to best benefit from this program made aware? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Would you want to repeat the question a little bit?
Yeah, I'm just curious, like what students can do to support the program. Like, is there anything, you know, you being a leader in your school community, what have you done to support the program? What can we do to promote and ensure that students are made aware of this amazing opportunity?
I think on a student level, in order to gain more like awareness towards it, there's the obvious like reposting. Since I know the videos of like the ceremony got posted onto the school board website and onto the Instagram. So like kind of reaching it out and reposting it, that's one way to get that recognition. And then another way could be just speaking to like the experiences of what you've done, whether that's with other employers. You can add it to your like certifications wise, you know, of seeing what you've done. Yeah, that's what I think that we could do as students to like better get out this word, because I feel like there are really good things that can be taken out from this, because like I said earlier, like living in Ottawa, a lot of people forget about the privileges that they've had when in regards to transportation. So I know this definitely opened my eyes, and I feel like if we're able to get that awareness outwards, it could definitely open up other people's eyes.
Thank you.
EJ, if you were here, we would be giving you a gift card, and you'd be coming up and getting your picture taking. But unfortunately, we're not going to do that this evening, so I'll make sure that your teacher advisor gets the gift card and gets it to you. Again, congratulations, great job done. Can I have a mover for the motion, please? Trustee Lukatich Byers. and trustee Melito. That the memorandum for the superintendent of student success intermediate secondary dated February 4th, 2026, entitled Rebuilding Wheels, Rebuilding Lives, be received. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Item 2, memo to the superintendent of leadership and parent engagement, new teacher induction program. Welcome Superintendent Power, Ms. Builder, and Dan Hung. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm pleased to be joined tonight by Heather Builder, coordinator of NTIP, that's a new teaching induction program, and Dan Wang, coordinator of, or consultant of NTIP. They'll be providing an overview of the program, the initiatives to help new teachers develop the crucial skills and knowledge required to be effective teachers in Ontario. So welcome, Heather and Dan.
Thank you and good evening, Mr. Chair. We are pleased to join you this evening to share how the new teacher induction program is working to foster a culture of innovation and support within the OCSB. Next slide, please. The new teacher induction program is a ministry-funded initiative that serves as a critical step, second step in a teacher's professional continuum, bridging the gap between their initial teacher education and their full impact in an Ontario classroom. Consistent with ministry documentation, we focus our program on 4 core goals: building confidence, ensuring efficacy, refining instructional practice, and fostering a commitment to continuous learning. The mandated components of NTIP, orientation, mentorship, and professional learning, are not just standalone requirements, they are the foundational supports that prepare our new educators for their 2 successful teacher performance appraisals, or TPAs. Next slide, please. As you can see by the trajectory of this bar graph, we have experienced significant growth over the past few years, reaching 303 permanent NTIP teachers this year, and that number continues to rise. Each of these 303 educators bring unique gifts, talents, and perspectives to our schools. Our role in NTIP is to provide the distinct personalized mentorship and professional learning opportunities that allow these individuals to showcase their talents and thrive within their specific classroom assignments. Next slide, please.
Thank you. Just to provide some context on our current NTIP cohort, here is a breakdown of our permanent teachers enrolled in NTIP. Currently, 78.2% of our educators hold English language positions, while 21.8% are dedicated to French second language roles. In terms of placement across the board, the majority of our teachers, just over 50%, are currently teaching in the elementary panel. Next slide, please. On January 29th, we hosted our second NTIP orientation for the academic year. We welcomed roughly 180 new permanent teachers in August and another 80 new permanent teachers in person in January. That morning began with a networking breakfast generously catered through our partnership with the co-op students in placements at the CEC. We were honored to have our director, chair of trustees, supervisory officers, and members of human resources team join us to share their insights. Following their speeches, our teachers participated in an interactive learning carousel. This gave them the chance to rotate through high-impact sessions led by teams from learning technologies, religious education, and deep learning, as well as a dedicated session exploring the NTIP program requirements.
Mentorship is at the heart of this program. It's centered on building a trusting, non-evaluative relationship between a new teacher and an experienced colleague of their choosing. This is a collaborative partnership that allows educators to co-plan, observe each other's practice, share resources, and offer supportive feedback that responds directly to the new teacher's immediate classroom needs. Through the NTIP, permanent teachers and their mentors receive 2 release days to share over the course of the academic year for these purposes. Next slide, please. While this one-on-one partnership is vital, the ministry research has indicated that high-growth new teachers actually access 5 to 7 different mentors. This makes a mentor's most vital role to act as a bridge, fostering connections between new teachers and the wider school community, thereby building a mentoring web. This web allows for personalized growth by creating opportunities to learn from various expertise.
Our central NTIP team is an active part of this web. We aren't just names in an email. We strive to be in schools for one-on-one observations, coaching, and targeted school visits. We are also available via email, phone, Google Meet, and during every Monday for our virtual drop-in office hours to ensure no question goes unanswered. Next slide, please.
So since the start of this school year, we have facilitated and partnered with other departments to offer a wide range of workshops and professional development sessions. Looking ahead, we are continuing to design new opportunities tailored specifically to our evolving needs of our system. For example, we are actually currently developing sessions on supporting English language learners and teacher professionalism. Things like streamlining communication with families, refining classroom management, and effective lesson planning. Next slide, please.
This year, we streamlined our support through a new one-stop shop, the NTIP Google Classroom. This professional learning environment houses key resources curated specifically for the rhythm of the school year. Topics to date have ranged from unpacking the NTIP requirements to creating an inclusive learning environment to writing report cards and even resources specifically created for our Francophone teachers. By creating a hub for these resources, we are aiming to ensure that NTIP teachers know where to find the resources and information they need when they need it. This is also a space where we can provide timely announcements and advertise unique PD opportunities for NTIP teachers. Next slide, please. Supporting our long-term occasional or LTO teachers is a strategic investment in supporting the future permanent teachers of the OCSB and setting them up for success in their first assignments after Teachers College. While optional for LTOs, we strongly encourage enrollment through a welcome email. We currently have 165 LTO teachers who have opted in to receive full access to our mentorship, PD, and an LTO version of the NTIP Google Classroom. They can even get started on a draft version of the NTIP strategy, providing documentation of their professional growth so it can be seamlessly transferred once they obtain a permanent contract. Next slide, please.
So as we move into a new term, we still have a strong focus, which remains on strengthening the transition into our classrooms. Here are just a couple of things that we have upcoming. But we are particularly proud of our partnership with the University of Ottawa, the teacher education program of nearly half of our recent hires. We have established a framework of regular consultation and dialogue with the university to better support teacher candidates as they transition from their degree programs directly into our classrooms. This collaboration can help our newest educators feel supported and better prepared. This is the end of our presentation, Mr. Chair, and we'd be pleased to answer any questions the trustees may have.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Questions or comments? Trustee Lukatich Myers.
For you, Mr. Chair, I'm on a bit of a roll here tonight. A couple of questions. So again, really interesting and very good initiative. So just from my understanding, so I think you mentioned that kind of the core of the program is mentoring. So I was just wondering, how does it work in terms of the matching? Do you guys somehow, is there some, you're a math teacher, you get matched with a math teacher that with a lot of experience, or or by school, or is there some kind of criteria, or are you matched with multiple people? And because I'm imagining, you're a new teacher, you're coming in, you might have like multiple questions and things, and to be able to chat with someone and get some tips and tricks. So it might be kind of like I'm assuming an ongoing thing. So just a little bit on that matching, how that works. And then I was also curious about the opt-in. So this is so if I'm understanding correctly, it's not a mandatory, so you can either opt in, or if you don't want that, you don't kind of have to do that, if I've understood that correctly. And I had another question that totally slipped my mind, but maybe I'll remember. So maybe we can answer those if that's okay. Thank you so much.
Through you, Mr. Chair. This is a fantastic question, and the mentor partnership is such an intrinsic and important part of the NTIP program that we want it to be deeply personal and reflective of the needs of each individual teacher. So we do not do the matching ourselves. We actually allow the educators to get to know their school environment, the staff at their school, and select their own mentor. We do encourage them to offer or to seek consultation with their administrators for some feedback if they're not sure who to select at their school. And we encourage them to select someone who is an experienced teacher, ideally at their school, teaching similar grade levels or subject. If that's not possible, they can expand their search beyond their school. And if they and their principal are having a difficult time selecting a mentor, we're always available to work in partnership with other subject-specific consultants to find a pairing at another school that works best. A good example of that was a kinder teacher at one of our smaller schools this year is the only kinder teacher at their school. So we were able to work in partnership with the kinder team in order to find another kinder teacher at a nearby school that could work as their mentor. With regards to your second question about the opt-in, so NTIP is a ministry mandatory requirement for all new permanent hires in Ontario. What's unique about the long-term occasional opportunity is that our LTOs can choose to participate during their LTO time. So while they're in long-term occasional contracts, they can opt in and receive supports, which we know is often at a time when they're at the very beginning of their careers where they need the most support.
Thank you. Trustee Moore?
Thank you, through you, Mr. Chair. I looked at the professional learning opportunities, and back in the day, assessment and evaluation was the scariest things out there. But I see that you are tracking what the teachers need. How are you keeping track of what the teachers need to offer what they're going to take?
Through you, Mr. Chair. The Google Classroom has been a really great resource for us because it's allowed us to ask our NTIP teachers what it is they're looking for in PD opportunities. So by directly asking them in the Google Classroom, we were able to curate resources and design professional development opportunities that respond to their needs and interests. We are also planning future PD that is based on feedback that we've kind of qualitatively gathered or quantitatively gathered over the course of this year in partnership with administrators, with other educators, and with other central staff members.
And may I ask a supplemental, sir?
Go ahead.
So we are a deep learning board. And how is deep learning incorporated into the NTIP?
Through you, Mr. Chair. I love that you are asking this question as someone who is deeply passionate about deep learning in our board and who is actually one of the co-facilitators of our deep learning certification. During the NTIP orientation, we have a dedicated breakout session that provides an overview of the deep learning framework. It also helps that we've included dive into deep learning in the NTIP kit that all new teachers receive upon hire. And then we advertise opportunities like the deep learning certification to our NTIP teachers through the Google Classroom.
Trustee Simpson?
As we know, a lot of teachers leave teaching within the first 5 years. And I think that the kind of support we give to our teachers with the NTIP program eliminates that or decreases the option of leaving a career that you got into because you love it. The one question that I have is non-evaluative coaching and instructional support given by mentors is a large task. And although you may be very enthusiastic to help your mentee, you might not have the personal training. So I'm interested in what kind of support you give the mentors so that they can give effective coaching to their mentees, shall I say. And can they call you when they get in trouble and they're not sure exactly where to go with the person that they're coaching?
Through you, Mr. Chair. That's a fantastic question. The mentors play such a valuable part in the experience of an NTIP teacher by guidance, by sharing, by also being there for them. This year, we've been able to offer a mentor session dedicated just for the mentors to help support them in guiding their mentee. We also have in place release time for mentors to come check in, observe, co-teach, co-plan with their mentees. And we also have a forum for mentor chat where they can check in with us. We can give them some guidance as well too on how to proceed if they are experiencing any challenges. We also, in addition to all these things, we also give the mentors a mentor kit as well too, resources and books that whenever any mentor or mentee submits their mentor's name, we want to make sure that they have some resources that they can refer to and check in. So we look after the entire relationship because we know that the mentor-mentee relationship is an important one. It is actually the one that actually keeps many teachers in the career because they know they have someone that they can count on, someone that they can rely upon in the event something were to occur, especially early in the career, as we all know. So we try to foster this relationship and this bond of togetherness any opportunity that we get. And we even try to, actually we have an upcoming PD session that we are offering that we actually offered for mentors that could attend with their mentees to continue building that bond and strengthening those ties as the teacher goes through this NTIP year.
Thank you. Is there any other questions? Father? Unmute.
Well, everything I just said were all compliments, so I'll skip those. No, thank you very much for the great presentation. You guys are doing a great job. It is a great program. And as Trustee Moore said, we're a deep learning board, which is fabulous. We're also a Catholic board. So my question to you is, so what are we doing to help these people transition from their educational life, their training, into the work life, but not just in education, but in Catholic education?
Through you, Mr. Chair. We are very fortunate to work in the Leadership Parent Engagement Department alongside the religious education team. And during that initial onboarding, we know how important it is to ground our educators in Catholic faith. So we make sure that we have a dedicated breakout session during that orientation that everyone is required to attend that focuses on Catholic education in the OCSB. We also offer PD opportunities throughout the year, such as our toolkit sessions in the fall, where we had additional breakout sessions where educators could deepen their understanding of the religious education and family life curriculum and resources. And we offer, we advertise any like religious education PD opportunities through the Google Classroom, and have an upcoming event tomorrow night, actually, co-hosted by NTIP and the Religious Ed Department that focuses on adult faith development and preparing ourselves for Lent. So we're very grateful for our interdepartmental collaboration with that team.
Thank you.
Is there any other questions or comments? Thank you very much for your presentation. It's always a pleasure to come and speak to the new teachers and see the wide eyes and the varying experiences that the new teachers bring, because they're not all 20-something-year-olds just out of university. You look around the room and there's graybeards, there's bald people, there's a vast difference of experiences that they're bringing to our board. So I really enjoy coming and speaking at the orientation program. Can I have a mover, please? Trustee Simpson and Trustee McEwen. That the memorandum for the Superintendent of Leadership and Parent Engagement dated February 4th, 2026, entitled New Teacher Induction Program, NTIP, be received. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. There's no new business. There's no notice of motions. Confirmation of the action report. A mover, please. Trustee Moore, Trustee Coburn. That the action report of May 27, 2026 be received. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Madam Director, administrative announcements?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have two brief announcements this evening. First, I haven't forgotten birthdays, but believe it or not, we have no executive or trustee birthdays until a few days before our next board meeting, so I'll save that for then. Just a couple highlights. I'm privileged in my role as Director of Education to go to lots of schools, and two highlights from the last few weeks is you may or may not know that we give service pins to our employees, and that's done with the principal and the superintendent, but I have the honor when people have reached 35 years or more, and I've had the great fortune of delivering most recently a few caretaking staff pins for people, employees who have been with our board for 35 years of service. And I think I have a 40-year presentation coming up, so I just thought I'd highlight that. And then I also wanted to mention that last week I had the privilege of attending at St. Paul High School the second graduation of our carpentry graduates from our Elite Skills Trade Academy, or our ARESTA program. And so that's just a highlight I'd like to share with the board.
Thank you. I looked up for a minute and there was just a blue screen. I thought I lost all of you. Can I have a mover for adjournment, please? Trustee Moore and Trustee Coburn. Again. That the regular board meeting of February 10th, 2026 be adjourned at 8:31 p.m. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you very much. A little different. Back to COVID days. I should have worn my glasses because you're all about this big across the room, and I was used to two big screens on my dining room table. Lesson learned. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy their evening.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, thank you.